Hey Milo, guess what?
Chicken butt.
That probably would have been funnier, but no.
Then what is it?
I just discovered this fancy new internet thing. All the kids are crazy about it.
Ooh, what is it?
It's called Vine. It's super funny. It's short form videos, and people post all these funny little memes and videos, and every single one of them is gold. What? What?
Just cut to the intro.
What did I do?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news network. And I'm your host Milo, and just to be clear, this is Milo spelled with an I, not a Y. For the love of God, please understand that I had zero free will in the last episode. Please.
And I'm Chris. So, Milo, what is your problem with what I said earlier? Are you not a fan of Vine? Are you not a Viner? A Viney?
Please stop saying these things.
What's wrong? Am I not being hip? What's wrong? Am I not hip enough? Am I not cool with the youths? Tell me.
Vine is dead, Chris. It died almost a decade ago.
What? How? Why? When? Okay, you said that one, but still.
Yeah, it was bought by Twitter, and then when they couldn't monetize it enough, they shut it down. It's been dead since 2017.
It's terrible. There were so many funny people on Vine. Like the Paul brothers. What's gonna happen to the Low Gang and the Jake Paulers?
Well, Logan went on to videotape some not-so-nice stuff in a forest, somehow recovered from the PR nightmare, and now he's just scamming kids with a moldy knockoff of Lunchables.
And Jake? What about Best Boy Jake?
I mean, he's fine, I guess. He's an idiot, and he'll probably die in a couple weeks, but other than that, he's doing okay.
Dude, he's gonna die?
Yeah, he's boxing Mike Tyson. In fact, both the Paul brothers have dabbled in boxing, although it seems that Jake is taking it slightly more seriously. Slightly. He still challenged a guy that quite literally could kill him with one punch.
Oh, come on, yeah, but isn't Tyson like in his late 50s?
True, but he also fighting Jake Paul, a man as deadly as a white paper towel.
I guess that's true. Let's just cut to the first segment so I can cope with this huge loss.
Hello, humans. It's me, Seth Stephen Salamander Purvis. That's a new nickname I was gifted recently, so I thought that I'd, try it out. Feel free to tell me what you think in the comments. Maybe then we can get some more viewers from the interaction. Anyway, I recently got back into anime, so I'm going to rant about that this week. Now, admittedly, I'm not the first person to gush about it on this show, but Jujutsu Kaisen, written and illustrated by Gege Akutami, and adapted into an anime by production studio MAPPA, is one of the best modern action shonen that I have seen in a while. Now, in my defense, I have watched very few shonen in my life, and I've read even less. However, out of that tiny little pool that I have experienced, this definitely ranks towards the top. First off, the animation is godly. Granted, it was at the expense of some worker and human rights violations, but looking past that, it's really good. Like, some of these shots and the way that each character moves in ways that are stylistically grounded is unbelievable to me. Bravo to the artists and animators that worked on this show. I'm sorry that you underwent such horrible working conditions, but know that your sacrifice was not in vain. Next, I want to talk about world building. God, does this series confuse me. Now, I am lucky enough to be friends with a walking JJK encyclopedia, but even with that, there are still things I am confused about. And that's after watching both seasons that are currently available. Lastly, I want to discuss how this story is a masterclass in power scaling. From Gandalf to One Punch Man, west to east, everyone can agree that writing an overpowered character is difficult. So I'm thankful that Gege Akutami never once ran into that problem of having a character so OP that he had to write his way out of multiple corners in order to have some semblance of tension. That's sarcasm, of course. He wrote a character with weaponized infinity and regretted it almost immediately. But hey, at least it looks cool.
You doing all right now, Chris?
Yeah, I'm all right. In fact, I have an idea for a funny new bit we can do.
All right then, let's hear it.
All right, so welcome to a new mini segment I'm gonna call I Agree.
Are you just saying opinions that you agree with?
Pop culture ones, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Now, our first statement. Lil Nas X invented country music. I agree. Lil Nas X did invent country music. He was there with Tim McGraw and George Strait.
You agree with that?
Of course I do. How could you not? Old Town Road, his hit country rap single from 2019, the longest running #1 song since the US Billboard's Top 100 from 1958 iteration. It's a staple of the country genre and helped define it, which is a true fact that you can look up.
And you honestly believe that Old Town Road was the invention of country music back in 2019?
Milo, time is a construct. It is neither here nor there, and yet is both here and there. I'm aware that other country music legends such as Johnny Cash, Blake Shelton, and Dolly Parton exist. But reigning above them all is Lil Nas X, who, as I previously stated, invented country music with the help of Tim McGraw and George Strait.
Chris, are you doing okay? You seem a bit out of it today.
I'm not sure what you mean, Milo. I'm just trying to keep up on all the new hip trends that the youngins are jazzing with. People still say hip, right?
If they're referencing the bone, then yes.
Damn it! All right, cut to the next segment. I need more time to do research on what's in style these days. I have to be with it. And I have to slay like the queen I am.
Oh, God.
Hello, Real Deal, and welcome to Dawson's Poetry Hour. Today, I've got one of my favorite pieces, written and performed by James Joyce. The eyes that mock me sign the way, whereto I pass at eve of day. Gray, way whose violet signals are, the trysting and the twining star. Ah, star of evil, star of pain, high-hearted youth comes not again, nor old heart's wisdom yet to know the signs that mock me as I go. Shocking imagery, breathtaking visions. Back to the show.
Okay, fam, I think I've gone through my glow up. No cap, I am dripped out. I am very, very drippy. In fact, so drippy, I might spill the tea. Yeah, I know it might be sus, but low key, I don't care because my drip ain't basic, and I'm a simp for no one.
Oh my God.
What's wrong, Milo? Am I slaying too hard for you?
Please stop. Please stop talking like that.
Bruh, you must be tweaking. I'm straight bussin' right now. You'd have to be Major Delulu to think that my attire ain't lit, drip, and fire. Ha! That rhymed.
God, it's like I'm back at high school, scrolling through my phone to escape the pandemic.
You were a doom scroller? That's so real. Such a vibe. Come on, spill the tea. It's not like doom scrolling is an ick or anything.
Chris, I swear on heaven and earth, if you don't stop saying slang from 3 years ago, I'm going to throw you a chair at you.
That's tea.
Stop quoting our PR head!
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be hip, yo. I mean, YOLO, 420, swag. Am I right, dog?
No, you're not right. You're so not right that you whipped right to being left. But if you really want to know what the kids are saying these days, I'll show you.
For realsies?
Yes, Chris, for realsies. Cut to the last segment while I explain to Chris what Gen Alpha slang is.
In today's history segment, we're talking about Herodotus, the Sigma father of history, or as some might say, history's first travel blogger. Born around 484 BCE, Herodotus was that friend who went on a big trip and never stopped talking about it. Herodotus would have loved Vine. He traveled from Egypt to Persia, writing down every sight, story, and juicy bit of gossip he came across. And while Herodotus is famous for documenting wars and cultures, he also had a bit of an aesthetic appreciation, especially for what he called the remarkably robust people he encountered. He'd know everything from hairstyles to, well, let's just say that Herodotus' notes may have included some admiration for well-rounded physiques. That's right, Herodotus was a Giat fanatic, and honestly, who can blame him? This has been Jeremiah Envoy educating you a thing or two about ancient history, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, just so I'm clear, Ohio both is and isn't real, basically making it the modern equivalent of Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
Riz and Aura are just having really good social skills. Skibbity comes from a crappy animation that kids thought was funny.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay a phantom tax. And if I want to get girls, I need to improve my jawline by mewing.
You know, even after explaining it to you, it still makes as little sense to me.
Wait, I feel like I'm forgetting one.
Giat. It's a borderline derogatory objectification of people with large butts.
Wait,
Big ones.
so does that mean that the fraternity I tried to join was run by people in Gen Alpha?
I don't know. What was it called again?
Alpha Sigma Ligma?
Yep.
Wow. I can't believe so much has happened to the English language in so little time. I mean, at this point, anything can be a verb if you try hard enough.
Yeah, it can get pretty confusing, but at the same time, I just try to remember that it's how our parents felt when we first used words like slang and drip. And their parents were probably just as confused when they said things like gnarly and wicked.
Thought Wicked was a musical.
A word can be two things, Chris.
Right. So, what's the lesson here?
I think the lesson's simple. Try not to get rizzed up by Livy Dunny like Baby Gronk did, or you'll be put in the forever box.
Hello all. I know you just loved hearing me talk all boomer-pilled and can't wait for more. So that's what I'm going to end with today. I want to talk about the Indiana Jones franchise and how poorly it has been managed. Because honestly, I think it should be studied. It's that bad. Quick history lesson. There were 3 Indiana Jones movies in the 80s that you probably have all heard of. But there were also a few unsuccessful comic runs and a TV show called The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He ran for a few seasons, but it wasn't a huge success. Then the franchise went quiet until 2008 when the infamous Kingdom of the Crystal Skull movie came out, before promptly falling back into obscurity. Until the Disney buyout of LucasArts. Disney promised more Indiana Jones in the year 2014. That's 8 years after the last movie came out. With big promises and goodwill towards their company with their handling of the MCU, audiences were receptive to the return of the whip-wielding adventurer. Since then, 9 years went by. A global pandemic happened, then an economic recession. And on top of that, the goodwill of mainstream audiences towards Disney had greatly diminished. Now, I don't want to get into the politics of online perception of Disney and its executives, but I do want to get into the thought process of reviving an old franchise with an even older lead actor by making a movie even more expensive than Avengers Endgame. I mean, the logic eludes me. And honestly, even if the budget wasn't a problem, Indy hadn't been relevant really since 1989. meaning the thing you plan on doing to get awareness back for your old franchise is to do another last adventure. It makes me sad. There are more final Indiana Jones movies than there are non-ending movies. Unsurprisingly, the movie didn't do well immediately upon release, so the bright folks at Disney announced that the movie would be put on digital after 3 weeks in cinemas. Now, hindsight is 2020, but I still think that there are many decisions that could have been made to adapt Indy 5 into something else, or just cancel it before it burned $100 or so odd million into Disney's pockets. So yeah, I don't have any suggestions for the people in charge or anything. I just want more people to be aware of just how much of a dumpster fire Indiana Jones truly is right now, and that it did not have to be this way. Learn from others' mistakes and make better decisions. That's all for me today. Bye-bye now.
I am glad to announce that Kate Bush, one of my personal favorite music artists, has finally raised herself from the grave. And no, literally, she is still alive, of course, but has been thinking about going back into the music business. She has stated that if she does come back, her music will be much more different than the music she displayed back when she was youthful and published songs like Eat the Music or Hounds of Love. But besides her coming back and creating a new album with new ideas on mind, she too has been busy while she was retired from her music, like needs such as archiving old work, redesigning her website, and putting together a lyric book. Hopefully, once this new album comes out, she will be touring, as I will be screaming my mind off wanting tickets to her show, since her last show she ever performed was in 2014. Jesus, that's a long butt of a time. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone that managed to keep their eyes and ears open. I know that was probably a mad cringe, fam.
Chris.
Right. I'm sorry. If you'd like to see more from The Real Deal, then check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. In the meantime, I'm Chris.
And I'm Milo.
I forget, is it with an I or Y?
Obviously, with a Y. Duh. Wait, what? No.